For those of you I've not met, my name is Monica Ricci, and I am the Director of Marketing for Opera Viva, and we are thrilled to have you with us today. As I've just mentioned before I press the record button, we are recording this. We think it's going to be an important asset for all of you, plus other candidates who are interested in joining us next summer in 2022 in the beautiful Verona, Italy for our program. So you can refer back to it, you can have your parents refer back to it, and you can share it with your classmates and friends as well. We're here to talk today about our program and answer any and all questions that you have about the entire process from beginning to end, from applying to traveling to living with us in Verona, to our program and our pedagogical model, etc., and all of the opportunities that it's going to offer you. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you, if you haven't already chatted with her in email or on the phone or in person, I want to introduce to you to the founder and artistic director of Opera Viva, Madeline Garahart. Hi, Madeline.
Hi, and thank you to everybody for attending today. And I hope we'll be able to give you some vital information and that you'll be joining us in Italy next summer. I want to give you a little background on the program and what our thought process was when we started it over 13 years ago. I had lived in Italy for 8 years. I was singing in the Verona Opera and the Venice Opera and freelancing, doing more things as well. And my husband was working for the government in Vicenza. And we came back to the States in 1994. I had a private studio, and many of my private students were going abroad to programs in the summer. And they would come back and they were just a little disappointed in various things that had happened in their programs. They just weren't happy, or their parents weren't happy about various aspects of it, or their teachers weren't happy. The teachers trying to change their technique or whatever. And there was, one thing or another, nobody was really happy. And so I decided to start a program. I collaborated with a bunch of my friends, asking their, what they didn't like about programs and how they would design one. And we came up with a design that we think makes everybody happy. And we designed it based on 4 criteria. The first thing was the location. It sounds very romantic to say, I'm going to the Tuscan hills to study opera for the summer. And then I'd get an email from my students saying, oh, Dr. Garahart, once you play a game of bocce ball and get a gelato, there's nothing to do. Because it's true. It's very pretty, but it's very isolated up in the Tuscan hills. And the same with other programs that were in Bavaria as well. And, places where it just wasn't an ideal spot for students your age. So we decided that we were going to choose an excellent place. And so we chose Verona. Now, Verona is a very beautiful ancient city, and it's walkable, it's flat, but it's very cosmopolitan, although it's not like Rome where it's busy and, so much traffic or whatever. No, it really favors the walkers and, people who are there to see the sights and whatnot. Although I have to say also, there's not many tourists in Verona, just during the opera season. But it's really a wonderful city. And it's close to Venice and Padua and Vicenza and Florence. But if you just stayed in Verona the whole time, there's still so many things to do. It is a gorgeous city. But most of all, we chose it because during the summer, as you can see behind Monica, is the famous La Reina Di Verona. Now, the arena was built by the Romans, and it was finished in the year 12, not 1912, not 1812, 0012. And it is still, so useful today and has stood the test of time, albeit there was a small earthquake once that toppled the 3rd level of it. But anyway, in the summer, the inside is all converted like with stones, steps and whatnot. And it's an oval shape, and the end of the oval becomes the stage. And then the rest of the 3 portions of the oval is where the people sit on the graduated steps and watch the operas. And it is just so magical. And I just knew, it's the epicenter of the opera universe in the summer. So why not have a summer opera program there? So also, though, it's near the airport. So when you fly into Verona, we are there to meet you. That's something the parents really love because, you get off the plane. We encourage students to take night flights because The implications for jet lag are better. You just lose a little bit of your night's sleep, and then when you get to Verona, it's it's the next day. And but having said that, you've been on a long flight, and just the emotions of getting ready and packing and whatnot, you get off and you look a little bedraggled. And I don't want at that point for you to have to say, gosh, where do I go now? Where do I get a taxi? Where am I going? Do I have to speak the language? Do I have the right money? No. You get off and somebody's there with a big sign that says Opera Viva. And we see a great sigh of relief go over everybody's faces, but also the parents are very happy that we do that as well, because I'm a mother, as and I think that that's very important to make sure that we are there for you. We're near the train station as well. So on the weekends when we don't have classes, people go to, as I say, Venice of Verona, Padova. We happen to be very, very close to Lake Garda. And there are two towns in Lake Garda that everybody seems to love. And one is Sirmione and the other is Peschiera. And so it's beautiful to go there for a day and swim. And, just they have the best gelato anywhere in Sirmione. So it's a beautiful retreat that's so close by to us. It's about 20 minutes on the bus. So the location is just perfect, not for just all the beautiful sights, but for also the arena, because that's just indisputably the greatest thing about the summers, that opera festival. The next thing we considered with the accommodations, I had a lot of students who were in dormitories when they went to programs, and the bathroom was down the hall, and the rooms were very small, and they had 4 people in each room, and just not ideal. So and no air conditioning, so it was just really the accommodations were miserable. Not only that, they had to walk. In fact, I think we're the only program, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that because I think it's absolutely true, we're the only program where the students live and work in the same space. Other programs, like I say, even a lot of our teachers have said they had to walk from their residence or from their hotel to the place where they were rehearsing and whatnot. And Gordon in particular had said to me one time, I'd have a 10 o'clock class and then I wouldn't have another class until 2 in the afternoon. So what are you going to do? It was 2 kilometers. Was I going to walk back in the boiling hot sun and then just get there and turn around and cut, a lot of things inconvenient, but we found the most beautiful accommodations. And there is a link on the website to the residence alla DJ on our website. And you will see that it is just beautiful apartments. We only put 2 students in each apartment. They have their own bathroom. There's air conditioning. The bus stop is right across the street. The thing about the bus stop that I love, or the reason, like, I'll be going into town to buy a bunch of things, like even some groceries, although there's a grocery store right up like a few blocks from the residence. But say if I have to go into the center of Verona for something, I will walk in because it's about 15-minute walk. And then I will take the bus home because at that point I have a lot of bags and whatnot. And so it's just really convenient that then I can jump on the bus to get back to the residence. There's a full kitchen in each residence, a living room, a little dining area, and then separate bedroom. And then, as I said, a private bath. So I think you'd really enjoy it. And then everybody makes their own meals in their rooms. Because the grocery store, like everybody has a refrigerator and whatnot. So the grocery store is right up the street. So the accommodation is just first rate. I just love it there. And we love the people, they love us. All of the classrooms are on the ground floor. So at about an 8-story facility. And on the ground floor, it's all classrooms. And then on the second floor, we have a big conference room, and that's where we stage all of our opera scenes. But it's a perfect accommodation. We're very happy to be there. And it is just a far cry from any other accommodation, I think, that you would find. And all the students are together. Some other programs I know of, they have students in about 5 different locations. So you're not even with all your friends. Our students sometimes have, in the conference room at night, they'll have potluck dinners and they have a blast. They don't invite us, but they have a very nice time doing that. So the third thing, of course, was the faculty. Very, very important. We have really made a great effort to have the finest faculty of any program I know. And we've gone to great lengths to get the chair of the voice departments for various institutions. Now, what is important about that, I think, is that there are other schools that have a summer program somewhere in Austria, say, or Germany. But what they do is they pick up their music department and they just go over to Europe. And that's it. It's the same teachers from the school. Whereas this way, you have such a wonderful display of points of view. You're working with people from the finest institutions. All through these years, we have had Joyce Fieldson, who's at the London College, Royal College, but she was the head coach at the Teatro La Fenice, the Venice Opera, for many, many years. And we've had Catherine Tuzinski with us for many years, and I know there's a lot of Eastman students tuning in today, and she's the chair of the voice department there. And Lisa Sylvester, who is the chair of the voice department at USC. We have Lauren Athiyanko, who is at Westminster Choir College. We have Filippo Cibatti, who's at Dartmouth College. And, you know, another reason, this isn't really why we set it up, but it turned out to be a very happy accident. And that is, these teachers are so well equipped to provide you the information for applying to their schools for grad work. And so you get so many coachings and lessons. You get to know them very well, and they can help you prepare your graduate school audition and help you to know what to expect. Or even you can talk to them and see if they think that their school is a good fit for you. And so we have so many professors who are represented. And then, of course, once you send in that pre-screened CD, you know, if it comes across their desk, they say, I know this student, I worked with this student. And it really does give you a leg up on your grad school. So that is not how we designed the program, but as I said, it has become a very nice aspect. And sometimes they're fighting over the same student. I was just talking to Lisa at USC, and she said, Catherine and I are always fighting over the same students. But anyway, that's a good thing. Now, certainly the last thing that's the most important thing is the curriculum. And I want to tell you that we are trying to give you a model for having an entire life making music. A lot of students come to us thinking they're going to be on the opera stage 24/7. And we think, you know, that probably is not going to happen to you. And in these times, it's the whole key to having a life in music is diversifying. And I was speaking with several of the students before we started this webinar to say that I have made a lovely life in music for the last 45 years. And it's because I was versatile. All three of my degrees are in music ed, but I have a professional voice. So I had a lovely professional career. I am a trained choral conductor. I have had music ministries in churches. I've had a private studio. I've had community choirs. And now look, I'm artistic director of this program. I think I've done other things too, but I just can't remember. The older you get, you can't remember what you did. But all I'm saying is that we want to prepare you by letting you know what is out there for you and how you can craft a beautiful, viable career that you can, you know, sustain your life on, and making music. So our program is individualized. We like to say we take you from point A, you come to us at point A in your vocal development, and we take you to point B. And that's it. I mean, there's no, what do I want to say, competition with other students. And people really kind of get that right away because everybody just is so friendly to everybody. We've had a mix of ages over the years, and there's no competition whatsoever. We say you're on an individual path of your life and you're at a different stage in your vocal development, and we take you where you are and we take you to the next point. Very interestingly enough, we have had several students come back 2 times. A lot of them have come back 2 times. Many have come back 3 times, and one girl has come back 7 or 8 times. Brittany, right, has come. I think she came 7 times, and it's fine because they come back and they're at a different stage. They may be ready for grad school, or then they're they've done grad school. Now what? They go to a yacht program. Now what? You know, so we are well equipped, and our faculty have all had lovely performing careers, but they're in education too. And so they are really well versed in knowing what you need and how to counsel you on your future. But we're trying to build this beautiful curriculum for you. And we have classes in the morning. I'll tell you a little bit about what your mornings or what your day would look like. Everybody in the morning, we have a few group classes, and they cover topics such as Italian. You have actually Italian language class every single morning. That's through a program called In Lingua Verona. It's a language conservatory right in Verona, and they send their teachers to us, and they're lovely, lovely program through them. We have a sacred music program, sacred music intensive, and you might be wondering, why would you give a class in sacred music? Again, I like to prepare you to know the large work in the world of sacred music, because now I have been a member of ACDA, American Choral Directors Association, and they track the demographics of growth in music. And they say by far the largest demographic is in choral music. More choruses are starting up, or across the country than anything else. And so what is the repertoire for choral music? Well, it's large works, right? And so they always have to hire out for soloists. So you need to know that rep, because it's going to be great. You don't have to travel to be, if you're going to have children and you're staying home. I did that as a stay-at-home mom when my kids were little. And so I got a lot of work concertizing, either in churches or with community choruses. I was always a soloist in these large works, Bach Magnificat, for Requiem, Messiah, of course, every year, all of these. And so we like to talk about that so that you can prepare for that part of your career. We have a recitative class, and I think we're the only summer program. Also, I don't want to say anything bad about other summer programs. That's not my intention. If you go to Europe to study opera for the summer, how bad can it be? But I just want you to know what we do well and what we're very proud of and what sets us apart from other programs. We're pretty famous for our recitative class with Joyce Fieldson, and also Filippo Ciabatti. He's from Florence. We have several Italian people who are, on our faculty, Filippo Ciabatti and Gerardo Felizatti. These are, they're from Italy, and so they are very good at teaching recit, but we really have worked out a methodology to teach you of how to approach recit. Most of the time when students come to us, that's their weakest point. We realized that early on in the program. Everybody would come, they had all the arias learned, all the duets, all the trios, all the ensembles, but they were very, very weak in the recits. And so we give you the tools and teach you how to approach those recits so that you'll want to learn them first before you learn all the arias. So we'll see, huh? Then we talk about, we cover career development, mock auditions, acting, stage directing, headshots, resume, a lot of the business aspects of how to set up your career. And that's all in the mornings. Then in the afternoons, we have your private lessons, your private coaching, your scenes rehearsals. And I want to stress something though. Everybody gets the exact same amount of lessons. Everyone gets the exact same treatment, well, I don't know about down to the last second, but the same amount of performance time. It's not where somebody who's at a very high level is going to get everything. No. Everybody at Opera Viva gets treated the same. There are other programs where only the most advanced singers get to sing in the concerts, and that is not what we're about, and it's not what we believe in. And so you come to Opera Viva and you'll get the same treatment as everybody else. In the evenings, that's once a week, we go to the arena to see an opera there. Monica and I are just looking at the schedule for this coming summer, and it's looking, well, we'll see Aida for sure, I think. And I think Carmen, and then I think we're toying between Nabucco and Traviata. There's a few. Oftentimes the students go off on their own and go to another one or two, on nights when they're free. So, but we'll go to 3 of them, and they'll be just wonderful. It's really a mountaintop experience. I know you'll remember it for the rest of your life. And then we also do our own concerts. We have 3 performances during the 3 weeks as well. There's other little surprises that I'm not going to tell you about because then it wouldn't be a surprise. But we have a lot of fun, and we just enjoy it so much. We've been heartbroken that we haven't been able to go for the last 2 years. I miss it really. Italy is my second home because now I've been there for 23 years. My son was born there, and yeah, it's my second home. So I can't wait to go back, and we can't wait to have you with us. Monica, I think that's, oh no, I forgot something. We have concurrently, I talk about all of these aspects of the vocal development and the work that we're doing with voice students, but we also have a whole other program for collaborative pianists. You know, so many pianists who have studied to be classical pianists realize that there's not that much call for having a career in professional piano, you know, in concertizing. It's very rare. And so if you can become a collaborative pianist, and that's a whole different kettle of fish, as you know, to be able to accompany somebody is an art in itself. And to learn the repertoire, and to learn the languages to coach, you really become a coach is what happens. And when I was at the University of Illinois, there was a very famous coach. His name was John Vussman. And he was the first one in the country to actually set up a degree program, a master's program for collaborative piano. And he was Pavarotti's accompanist. And so now I think most schools, well, not most, I'd say 50% of music departments across the country have a diploma, a course in collaborative piano. But we have a very nice one, and Joyce Fieldson is in charge of that, is at the helm of that. And she's just, an expert in every way. And so we love having, and so when the collaborative pianists come to us, they are assigned 1 or 2 voice students. And so they go to all of their lessons and all of their coachings and all of their scenes rehearsals. And then they meet with them. And it's just a wonderful thing, besides having all their lessons with Joyce and learning the tricks of the trade. And it's been a very nice experience for them that we've had that program. And then we also have a stage directing program, which also is an interesting field for somebody who wants to, again, get another skill to help your life in music. We have had several vocalists who have gone through our program, and then a couple of years later, they come back and do the stage directing program. In fact, one girl said to me, "Of course, I'm interested in stage directing. I'm on stage all the time. I know what that's like. I know that I love it. I know that this will help me if I can also be a stage director." Now, I think, who's from Sanford here? It's Emily, right? I think Kristen is a stage director, but she also was a vocalist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she went that way. And I think it's wonderful because, you know, if you have the more prep you have, the more versatility you have, you're going to have a life, you know, on stage. And that's wonderful that she's in charge of the stage directing program now at Sanford. Yeah. Then, so besides collaborative piano and stage directing, then we have 2 more programs, not for youth students. One is called Bravo Club, but it's really directed at your parents or people. I don't know if you've heard of the program called Rhodes Scholar, not the famous Rhodes Scholar. This is ROADS, Rhodes Scholar. And it's an educational program, and it's really been aimed at teachers. Monica, what did it used to be called before it was Rhodes Scholar? It was called something else.
Yeah, it's aimed at retirees.
Yeah, retired teachers in particular who love to travel, and you know, and it has an educational bent to it. So we have this program called Bravo Club, but what it is, the parents love it because you can attend all of the students' classes. So if you want to come to Italian class every morning, fine. If you want to go to the stage directing, it's really kind of seeing how the sausage is made, if you will. You know, you really can see all the classes, but you know, we don't want the parents to be just hovering. We just want you to see the whole program and to understand what it takes to really craft an opera career. But then we also have they have access. They come to the operas with us. It's only the last week of the program. They come to the opera with us. They come to your last concert. They come to our final banquet. But also 2 years ago, the last time we did it, they took a cooking class, and they can go on a wine tasting, and they went to the Teatro Romano. There's so many nice things to see in Verona. And so they took the opportunity to do these other things that weren't, aimed at the students, but it's a very nice program. There is a lovely brochure that Monica put together on the website. And so I encourage anybody thinking about Bravo Club to go watch that, or take a look at that brochure, because it's quite informative and tells, all the details about it. And the third thing we have is professional development, and that is aimed at university professors. We've had requests from several professors who are like voice teachers at their school, and then all of a sudden they've been tasked to set up an opera program, and they don't know how to, select scenes. They don't know anything about stage directing. They want to just kind of fill in the blanks. And so they come and spend time with us for 3 weeks, and we tailor make each curriculum to them so that we give them what they need to fulfill their requirement at their school. So, and also there's information about that on the website as well. So I think that's about all I needed to say. Monica, can you think of anything I left out?
No, I think that you've done a very comprehensive job, Madeline. And so, we've got a lot of time to answer your questions, but before we get there, let me stop sharing the photos I've been sharing, and I'm going to share the website and just walk you through in about 2 minutes, where to find the information and how to apply. So our website is at italyoperaviva.com, and right on the homepage are 3 very important portals for you, everyone on this session in particular. The most important portal is the Young Artists portal. So that is where, if you click on Learn More, you're going to get into all of the information written down for you to review and digest at your own pace and with your parents and your teachers, etc., that Madeline has just gone through. So as you can see, we're very excited, and you know this. We have had to cancel our sessions for the last 2 summers, but we are committed, and we know that we can be safe and be back in Verona next summer. And boy, we are excited. The faculty is excited, the staff is excited, and all of the students that we've been talking to are very excited to do this. So in the Young Artist section, you can see.
You're breaking up, Monica, on mine. I don't know.
Sure, you can see are the faculty. Okay, can everybody hear me? All right.
You're just breaking up a little bit. It's okay.
Okay. Well, let me back up then. I'm not sure if I'm breaking up for everyone or if it's just at your end, Madeline.
Yeah.
But basically it's all here. You guys know how websites work. I don't have to walk you through this, but important information about the dates, the curriculum, et cetera. Here is written down some of the information that that Madeline walked through in her overview, so you can look at that. But in particular, application is where you want to go to fill out your online application. In previous years, when things were much more open, Madeline and her husband, Bob, and Bob is a really, really important part of our program. You'll get to know Bob Garahart very well when you come and join us. They used to do a 5 to 6 week recruiting trip across many college and university campuses to do this spiel that we're doing today in person, and to actually hear auditions in person. Because of other things, Madeline and Bob are scaling that back this year. So we're going to do a lot of our presentations and hear your auditions online. So the important things for you to do, fill out the application. What we're asking for, if you're a vocalist, is to put in links to 2 performances of you singing Italian arias, because we are in Verona. We are Opera Viva. We are about Italian opera, obviously, and that's all we do is Italian language opera in the opera stream. So we want 2 performances of you singing 2 arias if you're a vocalist. If you are a collaborative pianist, we would like 2 performances of you accompanying a vocalist singing 2 Italian arias. And if you're a stage director, we'd like a video of you of a performance that you have been involved with at some point in your education at this point. Important
Monica?
things. Yes.
Excuse me. I just do want to say there are a couple of younger students with us today, and I just want to tell them that they can submit Italian art songs if they have not mastered specific arias yet. That's fine.
All right. Thank you. That's a very good point, Madeline. Thank you for that clarification. And then the important thing is the deadline. We want all of your applications in by March 15th. Our program, as you will have seen on for the first slide, and it's on our website, we're beginning our day one is June 26th. In 2022. So a lot is going to happen between March 15th and June. So, apply early. Let us review your applications early. Let us start the process of sharing with you the information that you will need to prepare. But after March 15th, and we know who's coming, you'll be getting assignments. You'll have to pre-work on some arias and some scenes. We will be assigning scenes, etc. So all the information is here. There's payment information, etc. It's all on this page. And I want to just touch upon a few things. I just mentioned the arias and scenes, and we're still finalizing the very specific details of these things, but Madeline has already talked about an important part, and I'm going to stop sharing, of our curriculum is your performance opportunities. We put on 3 public performances. We open them up to the populace of Verona, to any tourists who come through, and we've established quite a fan base in the comune, or the community of Verona, for our program, for our singers, and for our performances. So what we're looking at in 2022 are 2 performances of opera arias and scenes, and 1 performance of musical theater pieces. A growing part of our curriculum over the past several years that has proven to be very popular is musical theater crossover. And to speak to the things that Madeline has already covered, and I hope I'm not being repetitive too much, is, our program, our focus is setting you up for your career as a vocalist, as a collaborative pianist, as a stage director, etc. And so there are many different elements of musical style that are important for you to have this career if you're not going to be one of the few who spends 24/7, I think that was what you said, Madeline, on the stage of the Metropolitan Opera. So we do cover sacred music, we cover musical theater, and etc. So we're looking at 2 opera concerts and 1 musical theater concert next year. We perform in lovely spaces. We perform in conference rooms of the highest class hotel in Verona, the Hotel Duettori. We perform in the beautiful salon of a palazzo, a palace in Verona. We have performed in the past in a castle, in a medieval castle, Castel Vecchio, the old castle in Verona, and there's a beautiful space there. So we're looking to have lovely performance spaces that really are suited to the kinds of performance you are doing, as well as where we can attract the audiences. It's a big part of our curriculum. And so just to wrap that up, so there's a lot of work that we're going to ask and expect you to do before you arrive and are ready to go on June 26th. And that's where, we're assigning your scenes, we're assigning your specific music, and there's particular things we want you to do to prepare. So March 15th, an important date. Apply early, and then we'll be in constant communication with you.